Adam has been the default optimizer for years, and for good reason. But it carried a subtle bug that almost nobody noticed, and it was quietly hurting how well your models generalized. The culprit? The way it handled weight decay, that gentle pull which keeps weights from growing too large. AdamW is the tiny fix that untangles the whole mess, and it turned out to matter enormously. It is now the optimizer behind almost every transformer and every large language model you have heard of. So what exactly did Adam get wrong, and how does one small change put it right? Let's dig in. First, let's see the exact flaw that AdamW was built to correct. The original Adam folded weight decay right into the gradient as an L2 penalty. That sounds harmless, but then Adam's adaptive machinery scaled it along with everything else. Weights with large gradients got divided down so they were decayed less, and the regularization you asked for got tangled up with each parameter's own learning rate. The pull ended up uneven and weaker than you intended. AdamW decouples the decay entirely. It still runs Adam's adaptive update on the gradient, but then it shrinks the weights in a completely separate step, applied directly to the weights and untouched by the adaptive scaling. Now weight decay behaves exactly as designed, uniform across every parameter, and you can tune it on its own. That one clean separation is the entire idea, and it is why AdamW exists. So what does a single AdamW step actually look like? Follow it one move at a time. It starts the same way any optimizer does. Run the backward pass and compute the gradient of the loss for every parameter. Nothing exotic yet. This is just the raw signal telling each weight which direction it should move. Then Adam updates its two running averages. One tracks the mean of recent gradients, and that's the momentum, while the other tracks the mean of their squares. Together they remember both the direction and the typical size of each parameter's gradient over time. Now comes the adaptive step. Each parameter is nudged using its momentum, divided by the square root of its squared gradient average. Parameters with consistently large gradients take smaller, calmer steps, while quiet ones take bigger steps. Every weight effectively gets its own personal learning rate. And here's the piece that makes it AdamW. After that adaptive update, the weights are shrunk separately by the decay factor, pulled a little toward zero on their own, completely outside the adaptive scaling. Regularization stays clean and uniform, exactly the way it was always meant to be. Strip it down and three ideas capture what AdamW really is. At its core, it's Adam, which means momentum plus adaptive per parameter learning rates. Every weight gets its own effective step size, based on the history of its own gradients, and that is what made Adam so forgiving and easy to train with in the first place. Its signature move is decoupling weight decay from the gradient update. Instead of smuggling regularization into the gradient, where the adaptive scaling distorts it, AdamW applies the decay straight to the weights as a separate, uniform step. Small change and a real improvement in how models generalize. And that is why it became the default. AdamW is the standard optimizer for BERT, for GPT-style models, and for most modern deep learning. Same familiar knobs as Adam, a learning rate and two beta coefficients, plus a decay term that finally behaves the way you expect. Alright, let's lock in what matters. AdamW is Adam with one correction. It decouples weight decay from the gradient update instead of folding it in as an L2 penalty. Original Adam scaled that decay through its adaptive denominator, so heavily updated weights were regularized less, and the effect got tangled with each parameter's learning rate. By applying the decay directly to the weights in a separate step, AdamW keeps regularization uniform and measurably improves how well a model generalizes. That is why it quietly became the default for training transformers and large models everywhere. If unpacking the tools behind modern AI this clearly is your thing, we have plenty more waiting for you at standarity.com. See you over there.